Hi guys, I just want to share with you what I've been up to the last couple of days. I went through my supplies and I found I have some shrink plastic. Now this is something that takes me back to my childhood, but I thought now's the time to do a bit of revisiting. The sun has been out and I've decided that some colouring has been definitely well worth the visit. Now these colouring pens are Sharpies and they have been very effective on literally colouring onto this shrink plastic. Now the shrink plastic basically goes into either a conventional oven or you can use a heat gun. If you are using a heat gun, you are going to need to make sure that your fingers are kept away from the heat, and I would use something like a wooden skewer to actually place on top of your shrink wrap because it is definitely going to shrink. As you can see on the left hand side here, I've stamped this gorgeous girl onto the shrink plastic using my Stays On ink. Stays On goes on to every surface, plus it doesn't bleed like distress inks when you actually go over in with your pen. You can obviously use any type of felt tip pen, I'm sure, but I would recommend that you use a permanent ink when you come to stamping. So what I've done here is you can see the example on the left on the original shrink wrap plastic. It has a frosted side, the one that I have here, and it's stamped onto the frosted side, and it has a nice clear shiny appearance on the other side, which I'm just going to grab you one piece here so you can see shiny and glossy, and definitely a frosted side with a little bit of texture, so it's quite easy to stamp and also to tell the difference. Now this is the finished result of this. Is the same as the one that you've got here on your right hand side. It's a little bit crinkly because I have yet to, if you heat it, the best thing you can do is once it's heated and still malleable, place it under two books and a little bit of weight, and that'll make it lovely and lie flat. In my case, I'm just so keen to share with you what I'm up to that I've just pressed it down with my fingertips as best I could. But I think that this is going to look lovely on a front of a journal cover. I've also gone ahead and made some key rings, and I think this is just amazing what fun you can have. I've also got some lettering here. We have nicknames for some of our family members. If you do go ahead and stamp, that is the only thing you've got to bear in mind, that you are going to flip this and the shiny side will be your predominantly your front, and once you've done that, anything that you stamp, it will be transposed. So I did find a way of getting around that. I just stamped up the frosted side the way that I would normally read writing, and then using a clear nail polish I basically coated over the top after I'd actually heated and shrunk the actual plastic. One other point to make before I finish here: if you want to actually make your items into key rings, you will want to think about a hole. Now, because you are shrinking the item, I'm sure you're probably aware that you are going to need a normal size hole punch, and once that has actually shrunk down, you're only going to have a much smaller particular finished hole. So that's what I've been up to. Shrink plastic is available on the internet. Hunt around, and I hope that you can see the potential as items that can go on journals, or possibly just little charms that could also be hung on your junk journals as well. Anyway guys, I hope that was of some help, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.